Good afternoon. I'm Vi Lyles, Mayor of the City of Charlotte. I'm delighted to welcome you to the celebration of philanthropy and the arts. Across the country, many cities think about public-private partnerships. In Charlotte, we do public-private partnerships. In recent years, our city addressed economic opportunity, upward mobility, and affordable housing, to name a few ways that we exhibit this collaboration. We still have much to do in addressing the health and welfare of our community, particularly as we emerge from the coronavirus. Today, however, we're addressing arts and culture in our city. The arts bring us together like nothing else can. The arts provide insight into the human condition. They help us understand our most pressing fears and our greatest moments of joy. The pandemic has impacted many of our cultural organizations, and the time has come to heal them so they might help us heal. The Charlotte City Council recognized the importance of arts and has pledged $18 million over the next 3 years to support our cultural institutions. The private sector has matched our commitment, dollar for dollar, generating a total of $36 million. You know, local arts organizations provide jobs, educational opportunities, and attract visitors and national attention to our city. We are a community rich with cultural opportunities for our children. So we come together this evening to make sure arts and culture thrive in Charlotte. One partner, the Foundation for the Carolinas, was called into service to head the private sector campaign. I want to thank the foundation and all who have supported this effort to be successful today. Each of us continue to make our city a place for everyone to thrive. To our creative community, we value you and hope that these dollars help you be your very best. Thank you to those who have given and those who will give back.
Good afternoon. I am Julie Eiselt, Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Charlotte.
And I'm Marcus Jones, City Manager for the City of Charlotte. Julie and I are delighted to be here to celebrate the private sector's commitment to our local arts institutions. When the pandemic struck and our city was forced to shut down, our local arts organizations were hit hard, to the tune of a devastating $50 million in lost revenue. Much like the city's Access to Capital program last year, through which more than $43 million was awarded to our local businesses to help them recover from the pandemic, the city is also focused on how we can best help our local cultural sector. That's why we propose to double the city's current level of funding to $18 million over the next 3 years, to be matched by $18 million from the private sector, for a total of $36 million for all arts and culture institutions. To distribute these resources, a citizens-led grant-making board will be appointed by both the city and our private sector.
We are committed to our cultural sector because its success is vital to our community's long-term growth. Combined, the nonprofit organizations this fund will support have an audience participation of residents and visitors of more than 2 million people per year. In addition, Charlotte's cultural sector employs thousands of full-time workers and generates an annual economic impact of $360 million. Meanwhile, our cultural sector's education programs for children and youth are nationally recognized. This is not to mention the enormous role art and culture plays in our community's health and well-being of our day-to-day lives. What would our public squares be without art? How many of our problems have been solved thanks to the contributions of our creative community? How many of our children first fell in love with art or theater through dance, through a local class or performance? The City of Charlotte is committed to ensuring that the legacy lives on, and we are excited that our private sector agrees with that commitment. This afternoon, you will not only hear from local companies who are dedicated to this cause, but you will also hear from local cultural institutions who will benefit from this fund. To both, I say thank you for all that you do. Our city is a better place thanks to your talent, generosity, and commitment.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Lamach, and I'm pleased to join the celebration today for two reasons. First, I'm the CEO and chair of Train Technologies, a sustainability-focused company that's proud to support this arts campaign. I'm also the incoming chair of the Corporate Executive Leadership Council. I want to thank Mayor Vi Lyles, City Manager Marcus Jones, and the Charlotte City Council for collaborating with the private sector in reviving our financially challenged arts and culture organizations. Companies relocate to Charlotte and stay here because of our vibrant community offerings, particularly the Uptown Arts, Science, and Cultural institutions that line Tryon Street. Our Train Technologies employees and their families participate in arts and science activities all across Charlotte and Mecklenburg County, which we encourage and want to support. This campaign was not orchestrated, nor was it led by CELC, but our membership is well represented in gifts of support already announced and yet to be announced this evening. I want to thank my corporate colleagues for your tremendous generosity. Equally as important, the campaign has also garnered support from smaller companies, professional firms, family foundations, and individuals. And this is a hallmark of what it means to live in Charlotte. We all come together to address critical needs and create a thriving, sustainable city. Foundation for the Carolinas is often at the center of those efforts and has put its leadership behind this arts initiative. So as the incoming chair of CELC, I want to thank both the foundation and the city of Charlotte for leading the way. And speaking of leading the way, let's get to our first gift announcement, which will bring us even closer to reaching our $18 million private sector goal.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Robertson. I'm the managing partner of Robertson, Bradshaw, and Henson. Since our founding here in 1960, we've been a beneficiary of all that our home county and city have to offer. As we grew over the decades, our founders, Russell Robinson and Bob Bradshaw, senior partners like former Mayor Richard Henry, demonstrated to our lawyers and staff through their words and their deeds, we have an obligation to make our community better. We are and will continue to do our best to live up to their examples. Our cultural institutions, including our museums, symphony, opera, and ballet, educate, entertain, and inspire us. They are essential to our community's continued economic growth and development. And I believe they encourage us to confront the other challenges we must address, such as economic mobility, if our community is to continue to grow into what we hope it will be. Like you, we've recognized in recent years that the decline in workplace giving to the arts meant that a new approach to supporting our cultural sector was needed. And then the pandemic struck, dealing a serious blow to our cultural institutions. I think we're all looking for any silver linings we can find to our experiences during the pandemic. Down the road, I'm hopeful we'll look back and see that the pandemic spurred the city, with help from the private sector, to find this intermediate path to a long-term sustainable solution to funding our major cultural institutions. Thanks to our mayor and members of City Council and Michael Marsicano and his staff at the Foundation for the Carolinas for your efforts to respond to the immediate and long-term needs of our cultural institutions. And so Robertson Bradshaw is pleased to announce that we will join in this public-private partnership and donate $300,000 over the next 3 years. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Malcolm Culley, and I'm EY Charlotte Managing Partner. EY stands with the greater Charlotte community and the Foundation of the Carolinas in its campaign effort for our vibrant art community. We at EY believes a vibrant arts community helps to cultivate a culture of equity, inclusion, and diversity, which is at the core of who we are, building a better working world. Congratulations to the City of Charlotte.
Hello, I'm David Taylor, President and CEO of the Harvey B. Gantt Center for African American Arts and Culture. I'm thrilled to help celebrate the new public-private funding plan for the arts, sciences, and culture. I want to say thank you to the City of Charlotte and all of the private funders who helped make this possible. With this investment, It will ensure that our work in artist activism and our initiative for equity and innovation will continue to grow and help build a more equitable Charlotte. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Sally Gambrell Bridgford, president of the Gambrell Foundation. And I am excited to announce that we are going to be contributing $450,000 to the private sector campaign in support of our local art. We are honored to join with the companies, foundations, and individuals committed thus far to rescue our arts community. That said, how in the world, you may ask, during a time of economic hardship, would we make such a grant? In our current economic crisis, grants to the arts seem trivial and tone deaf, given the dire circumstances of many fellow neighbors and members of our community. Do not get me wrong, at the Gambrell Foundation, our primary focus continues to be on closing gaps of inequity, building community that allows all individuals to thrive and contribute. And while we will continue to address inequity in all its forms, food scarcity, affordable housing, and huge gaps in educational access and quality, we view supporting the arts as a vital component to creating a thriving city, and one that looks and addresses our problems in new and creative ways. On the practical level, a vibrant art scene developed using an equity lens will bring tourism, businesses seeking relocation, and jobs. On a personal level, most recently, I have been reading and rereading the poem, The Hill We Climb by youth poet laureate Amanda Gorham. And her words offer a vision for us that bridges hate and points a way forward for us to work together that is needed. Where would we be without her words? And think of the impact that she has had on a yet new untapped generation of African-American youth, watching a 22-year-old who looks like them speak words of conviction, power, strength, inspiration, and hope to our nation. We all need to hear voices, diverse voices of the human experience. Therefore, at the Gambrell Foundation, we are proud to be supporting a creative, inclusive, out-of-the-box community to tackle the complex problems of the world in our particular corner of it. Please support making Charlotte's future stronger for all of us through the arts.
Good afternoon and welcome to Symphony Park at South Park Mall. I'm David Fisk, the President and CEO of the Charlotte Symphony. And it's a thrill for me to be talking to you this afternoon when right behind me, right now, one of our youth orchestras is performing live for the first time in a year. Imagine what it feels like for those kids who've been practicing virtually all year to have the chance to be together once again. And it's a very cheerful example of how music is safe in the hands of our kids and their families, and how important it is for that next generation that we support them. Which gives me an opportunity to say a huge thank you to the City of Charlotte and to our private sector colleagues who, with an $18 million challenge, have stepped up to match the city's $18 million to contribute security for the arts and cultural sector for the next 3 years and beyond. And this music playing this afternoon, I think, is an example of how important those funds are, invested in our future and our children's future. So thank you to the Mayor, thank you to the City Council of Charlotte, thank you to the private sector for your investment in the successful future of music and the performing arts in the city for everybody to enjoy. Thank you.
LendingTree could not be more excited to announce our commitment to supporting local arts in Charlotte. When I started LendingTree over 20 years ago, I laid out 6 core principles that to this day still are at the heart of our culture. And one of the most important principles is to act with urgency and creativity. Art plays a huge role in this because art fosters creativity and innovation. And in the fintech industry, creativity and innovation are essential in order to help consumers find new ways of accessing capital, for saving money and building a better financial future. On a personal note, art has played a huge role in my own life. And I bet if we all take a moment to reflect, I think every one of us could say the same. There was nothing quite like for me seeing the awe in my daughter's eyes when she attended her first live musical production. That moment lived with her throughout her entire life, and she's now on a path to building a career in the performing arts. I remember very vividly standing in line with my parents, waiting for discount Broadway musicals, filled with excitement and anticipation of which show we were going to get to see that day. My parents were English teachers. They helped to foster my love of books and taught how words on a page could then transport you to a different time and a different place. Art surrounds us in everything we do, from music, architecture, design, and so much more. Lending Tree is 100% committed to helping Charlotte remain a vibrant city that can continue to attract top-tier talent for our growing fintech market. And as Lending Tree moves into our new South End headquarters, which will be filled with art from local artists, we hope to be a very visible part of the community and a dedicated corporate citizen. We're proud to announce our commitment of $750,000 to support local arts in Charlotte and applaud all the organizations who are contributing to this cause. Thank you all very much.
Hi, I'm Rucheer, a former STEM ambassador at Discovery Place Science Museum. Thank you for supporting the museum and all the opportunities it has provided me over the past 5 years.
Hi, I'm Paul Camuti, Chairman of the Board at Discovery Place. I wanted to thank you for your support, and we're excited about bringing vitality back to Charlotte. Investing in science is good for us and creates a better future for our children.
Hi, I'm Tifferney White, Chief Learning Officer here at Discovery Place. Science literacy is vital for the future of our community, and your support helps us to make science accessible to all. Thank you.
Your support enables us to deliver our mission with world-class exhibitions and programs to educate, entertain, and engage citizens of all ages that number nearly 1 million people each year.
Well, for more than a year, we've been trying to survive the pandemic. And I think I speak on the behalf of everybody that it's really a joy to start to come out of this nightmare that we've been in for the last year. And Honeywell has been extraordinarily proud to be a part of this community and to contribute to the immersion from the pandemic, not just in North Carolina, but on a global basis. So whether it's making N95 masks, sensors for ventilators, coming up with new healthcare packaging, we've been extraordinarily proud to play a role. And on a more local basis, we've been thrilled to be the key contributor to the Small and Medium Business Innovation Fund, which really kept many businesses alive during this difficult time. And now we're happy to be part of the group to contribute to the well-being of our uptown area and the arts community. So thrilled to have that be part of our fiber and be part of the values and entertainment that we can provide in our uptown area. As being a key tenant of the uptown, we couldn't be more thrilled. On that note, I'd also like to congratulate Mayor Lyles, the City Council, Michael, the Foundation for the Carolinas, and all the contributors who gave to this very important campaign for the city of Charlotte. Honeywell is proud to make a contribution of $1 million to the arts campaign. I think it's an important part of our community and one we're thrilled to support.
Hi, I'm Spencer Clare, Director of Development at Children's Theater of Charlotte. I'm here at Imaginon, where in a typical year, we serve and provide access to over 250,000 children and their families with unique, high-quality theater experiences. Our work is rooted in kindness, and because of your kindness, we will remain a vital resource and provide education and programming opportunities for the young people in our community. Thanks to the leadership and generous support of the funders who have given to the private sector campaign, the City of Charlotte, and Mayor Lyles, we will continue to inspire generations to explore the wonder of their world. On behalf of everyone here at Children's Theater of Charlotte and the thousands of students we serve, we just want to say thank you.
Hello, I'm Marvin Ellison, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Lowe's. On behalf of the hundreds of thousands of associates who make up our company, and particularly the many thousands that live and work in the Carolinas, Lowe's is a proud partner with the Foundations of the Carolinas on this very important campaign. Supporting arts is critical to the vitality of our communities and the quality of life of our family, friends, and our neighbors. And it's true in normal times, but especially true today, nearly a year and a half into a pandemic that has dramatically impacted the entire arts and culture sector of our economy. With losses running into the tens of millions of dollars and thousands of jobs affected as museums, theaters, and concert halls were closed, this effort by the private sector to step in and help couldn't have come at a more critical time. You know, many of you are familiar with Lowe's community relief efforts in the wake of natural disasters. Our team will spring into action in the communities we serve anytime there's a hurricane, a tornado, or a flood that impacts our neighbors and communities. We aim to do what we can to help pick them back up. It's part of who we are as a company and a culture. And this effort to support the arts and cultural sector in the aftermath of a crisis that is both humanitarian and economic is very much in keeping with our beliefs in the importance of serving and elevating our communities. So we're honored to help in any way that we can, and we're honored that we've been asked to help. And we're blessed to be in a position as a company to do so. And I'm delighted to announce that Lowe's is committing $1 million to this effort, which will put the campaign over its fundraising goal. And we're proud to know that the money that we and others are contributing will help to stabilize this sector for years to come and support dozens of major cultural nonprofit institutions and smaller organizations that are working to keep our hometown region vibrant and prosperous. Now, let's welcome back Michael Marsicano for an update on where we are currently on the campaign and where it stands.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Marsicano, President and CEO of Foundation for the Carolinas. In recent years, the Foundation has proudly helped bring to life public-private partnerships that address economic opportunity, upward mobility, affordable housing, access to universal pre-K, COVID-19 relief in partnership with our United Way, as well as small business grants during the pandemic. And now, the promise of a public-private partnership to preserve and re-energize our arts community. In each of these efforts, the generosity of local companies, foundations, and philanthropists has exceeded our hopes and dreams. In fact, the Foundation's vision for the generosity of our private sector during this arts campaign has been exceeded by the vision the private sector had for itself. A lesson to be learned. We should never underestimate Charlotte's generosity. Marvin, we are most grateful for the exemplary gift from Lowe's, which takes us well over the goal set just a few weeks ago, a goal we reached in record time. We thank you and your team at Lowe's. With your capstone gift, we have raised, drum roll please, $20 million, a full $2 million over the goal. Wow, we have a lot to celebrate. And Darius, we know how much you and Honeywell care about Center City, not only with this gift to the arts, but also your leadership helping Center City small businesses. Thank you for your generous $1 million commitment tonight. Doug Lendingtree kicked off the COVID-19 Response Fund initiative, and here you are again with generosity for the arts. Thank you for joining us once more. To Mike, Malcolm, Alan, and Sally, thank you for the tremendous generosity of your organizations. We couldn't have done it without you. Charlotte is a better community for your leadership. On the screen now is a list of all the companies and foundations supporting this critical cause. To each of you, I send my heartfelt thanks. Your generosity and dedication to our community is vital to a thriving cultural sector. This public-private partnership campaign would not have happened if not for the leadership of our mayor, the Charlotte City Council, and our city manager. Thank you for your vision. Vi, Julie, and Marcus, we did it. During this pandemic, our community has collectively risen to the challenge of healing and saving lives. While we have much more to do serving basic needs, tonight we pivot just so slightly. We must also preserve that which makes our lives worth living. This is where the arts come in. A writer once said, apropos to these times we live in, life beats us down and crushes the soul. Art reminds us that we have one. And so we leave the final word of the evening to the artists. One of my favorite singers, Maria Howell, representing local arts group and also a funded group, Tosco Music. Let her voice serve as a thank you to all of our cultural institutions and individual artists who do indeed make life worth living.
Hello, my name is Maria Howell, singer, actor, and voiceover artist, and very proud board member with Tosco Music. I'm sure it's safe for me to speak on behalf of so many artists in the area when I say words cannot express my sincere and deep gratitude for all that you're doing. You know, this time last year was very, very tough for a lot of us artists. And thanks to folks like you, the funders, and the city of Charlotte for making a difference. And we as artists had to figure out ways, creative ways to share our talents, and Tosco Music was no different. In celebration of today's great news, I'd like to share a performance that Noel Friedline and I did last year. All I can say right now is I'm so glad that we are no longer in that situation. Thank you.
The Lockdown Blues. They are rough. Yes, the weeks they are tough. When I'm away from you, baby.
Whoa, the nights are long, but I'll be strong when I'm away from you, baby.
There ain't nothing I can do. I got those low down, dirty, lockdown blues.
Yeah, you said it, you said it.
It's all you, Maria.
I'll meet you up on Zoom, a virtual soiree just for two. All that I ask is you put on a mask and I'll leave the rest up to you. When I'm away from you, baby, whoa, from my head down to my shoes. Yeah, yeah. There ain't nothing I can do, no, no. I got those low down, dirty, lockdown blues.
All right, let me get this one a shot. Let's see what I got. With my stimulus check, I'll buy you pearls around your neck. A fur coat, a new car, champagne and caviar. Without you, I'm a wreck. When I'm away from you, baby. Got it from my head down to my shoes. All the way down to my shoes, baby. There ain't nothing I can't do. I got those low down, dirty, whoa, sit lockdown blues. Yeah.